of the kingdom. First, Jesus tells of a sower who is sowing seed. Some seeds fall alongside the road and are eaten by birds. Other seeds fall on rocky ground where there is not much soil. The roots that develop cannot reach down far, and the new plants are scorched by the sun and wither. Still other seeds fall among thorns, which choke the young plants when they come up. Finally, some seeds fall on fine soil. These seeds produce fruit, this one 100 times more, that one 60, the other 30. Matthew 13:8. In another illustration, Jesus likens the kingdom to when a man sows seeds. In this case, whether the man sleeps or is awake, the seeds grow. Just how, he does not know. Mark 4:27. They grow by themselves and produce grain, which he can harvest. Jesus then tells a third illustration about sowing. A man sows the right kind of seed, but while men were sleeping, an enemy sows weeds in among the wheat. The man's slaves ask if they should pull out the weeds. He replies, "No, for fear that while collecting the weeds." Illustrations about the kingdom. Matthew 13:1-53. Mark 4:1-34. Luke 8:4-18. When and where does Jesus speak with illustrations to the crowds? Jesus gives kingdom illustrations 43:107. You uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the harvest season, I will tell the reapers. First collect the weeds and bind them in bundles to burn them up. Then gather the wheat into my storehouse. Matthew 13:24-30. Many who are listening to Jesus know about farming. He also mentions something else commonly known, the tiny mustard seed. It grows into a tree so large that birds can lodge in its branches. About this seed, he says, "The kingdom of the heavens is like a mustard grain that a man took and planted in his field." Matthew 13:31. Jesus, however, is not giving a botany lesson. He is illustrating spectacular growth, how something very small can grow or expand into something very large. Then Jesus draws on a process that is familiar to many of his listeners. He likens the kingdom of the heavens to leaven that a woman took and mixed with 3 large measures of flour. Matthew 13:33. Although such leaven is hidden from view, it permeates every part of the dough and makes it rise. It produces considerable growth and changes that are not readily discernible. After giving these illustrations, Jesus dismisses the crowds and returns to the house where he is staying. Soon his disciples come to him, wanting to understand what he meant. Benefiting from Jesus' illustrations, the disciples have heard Jesus use illustrations before, but never to this extent. They put to him the question, "Why do you speak to them by the use of illustrations?" Matthew 13:10. One reason he does so is to fulfill Bible prophecy. Matthew's account states, "Without an illustration he would not speak to them, in order to fulfill what was spoken through the prophet who said, 'I will open my mouth with illustrations. I will proclaim things hidden since the founding.'" Matthew 13:34-35. Psalm 78:2. But there is more to Jesus' use of illustrations. It serves to reveal the attitude of people. Many of them are interested in Jesus simply as a masterful storyteller and miracle worker. They do not see him as someone to be obeyed as Lord and to be unselfishly followed. Luke 6:46-47. They do not want to be disturbed in their view of things or their way of life. No, they do not want the message to penetrate that deeply. In answer to the disciples' question, Jesus says, "That is why I speak to them by the use of illustrations. For looking, they look in vain, and hearing, they hear in vain, nor do they get the sense of it." And the prophecy of Isaiah is being fulfilled in their case. It says, "The heart of this people has grown unreceptive." Matthew 13:13-15. Isaiah 6:9-10. That does not, though, apply to all who are hearing Jesus. He explains, "Happy are your eyes because they see and your ears because they hear. For truly I say to you, many prophets and righteous men desired to see the things you are observing but did not see them, and to hear the things you are hearing but did not hear